was your greatest fear?
Disappointing my parents. I think.
Why? Why is that?
I just respected them so much, and I knew that they had high hopes for me. And a lot of that wrestle was, what if I'm not this child they think I am? Or what if I can't grow into the woman that they're raising me to be? So yeah, that creates disappointment. And it's not disappointment from a I want your approval standpoint. It's more so a disappointment of, if you guys really think I'm that great and I don't measure up, does that mean I'm not great? It's like, I think of you like this, and in my mind I'm like, I want to be like that because you think of me that way. But what if I only hit the mark right here? It's just like, as long as my parents are good, I'm good. I mean, be angry with me, be frustrated, yell at me, but just don't be disappointed. Like that was probably one of my biggest fears, because I was already weird. I was already the black sheep. I already stood out. I accepted that. So I didn't fear being different. That was obvious. It was more so that disappointment. I don't want to live with that.
So we know that you were very close to your father. What were some lessons he taught you about fear?
My daddy. I don't think he left much room in his life for fear. I never saw my father be embarrassed when we were all embarrassed for him. Is if I'm able to be who I am comfortably, fear won't come so naturally. Because the minute I become overly self-conscious and I'm aware that people are watching me and looking at me, I think that opens the door for fear to come in. When I become aware that eyes are on me, then fear begins to talk. What if you fall? What if you say the wrong thing? What if your answer is wrong? What if? Whereas my father, he was so comfortable with who he was, where he's like, being afraid didn't cross my mind because I am who I am, and I know can't nobody in this room judge me. That things are gonna work out. And I think another thing that my father actually taught me in his death is that life is short. And I don't want to wake up and be 50, 60, 70 saying I should have done that. Or what if I would have went for it? And like, what's the worst that could happen outside of death? You embarrass yourself? You fail? Like, okay, then you'll have a really cool story, or you'll have a lesson. Like, I think we take life and ourselves too seriously a lot of the time. With fear, without fear, either way, the adventure is gonna happen. So.
Were there any fears that you or your family had to face during that difficult time?
Yes, and I am still facing a lot of those fears. So during that time, it was this question of what happens next, or when something goes wrong, because my dad was the type where before I call the cops, I'm calling him. Before I call anybody else, I'm calling him. And he was always there with a solution, with a connection, with a way to make it happen. He took care of all of us. So it was that question of, now that you're gone, how do we figure this? How do we figure life out? Or if my mom would leave and say, take care of your dad, that was always terrifying. What if something happened on my watch? Can I do it when there's no time to think, no time to call anybody? Am I adequate for these things? And I'm just learning to always come back to today. Instead of worrying about the future, let's come back to July 8th, 2018. And let's focus on right now. If I can get past this moment, we'll worry about the next moment.